Hey girl,
Hey, Jules.
welcome back to Girl Goggles.
Hey, welcome. I love how we
Hi.
were like, we're backish. We're kind of back, but then like 3 weeks passed and we're like,
It
an
hasn't been three
episode?
weeks, has it?
It
I think it's
hasn't. Y'all,
no. Give
life
me
has
drama.
bing life has
Lifing.
been lifing for sure. I mean, how much longer can we use that excuse? But I mean, I think this week we can use that excuse to everything. Like literally. Like I
I
may
think
not show
so.
up to work, and if they ask me where were you, I was like, where were you?
Yeah.
Where were you?
Yeah. Agree.
Can we say hello to the animals?
Yeah, sorry. We got a little animal takeover over here. We got Kiwi. Hey you. We got Max. This is my old man Maxie over here. Kiwi.
Can
Honey.
we look at Maxie?
Good Maxie. And then we got Coco. My Oh, there's Max. Hi, Max. Hello.
Hmm. He's like, without me? You're
Oh, he's
doing
got
it without
eyebrows.
me?
Look, look. Oh no. Oh, it's gone. Okay. He had eyebrows for a second. That's funny. How are you, girlfriend? How's your week going?
Ugh, it's going. I think we have to address the elephant in the room from the get-go. Just get it over with and just, keep on living, keep on doing our thing. But I think not I don't think I know it is important to address that and talk about it because this is something that concerns us directly. You know what I mean? Like this is not something like and it upsets me sometimes when people are like, "Oh, like you guys are focused too much on, election. You guys are letting that affect your life too much." Like, I'm sorry, doesn't that affect your life? You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I think it's something that we have to talk about, and because I wanted to be big, loud, and proud, I made a very big girl bun. So.
I
And
love it.
we were trying to do like a funky background with the Zoom, but my bond wasn't even fitting in that background, so that's why we're just doing straight up. I love how like your room is just so nice and there's like art everywhere and it's like girl colors and I just live in like I feel like I'm recording from like a jail cell.
Oh my God, stop. Your room is cute too. What are you talking about? You're good,
Thank God I'm
girl.
not showing my Thank God I'm not showing my popcorn ceilings. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's just dive right in.
Oh man. Oh man. Where do we begin? I feel like I am very vocal and honest about my political views. There is nobody who questions what side of the fence I'm on, and this election, I'm not gonna lie, has been really rough for me. I know you and I have talked about it quite a bit, but I, God, I don't know where to begin on the topic. To be honest, I was really, really shocked by the outcome, unpleasantly surprised by the outcome of this election. And let's unpack that, right? Like, why? Let me just start by when I was growing. So, obviously, we come from two totally separate backgrounds. I
Yes.
am American through and through, born and raised. I've always been a proud American. So I don't want anybody coming for me as like not a good American because I didn't, because I'm not Republican and all the things. But I have always been a really proud American, born and raised here. Growing up in school, you always learn about our leaders and our presidents and of course, they're not all perfect and you don't always agree with their political views or what they try and establish when they're in office. But the reason that I am so strongly against Trump is because he has taken it not just from political views and being a voice of the people, but he's made it very personal, in my opinion. This is my opinion. He's made it very personal. He attacks anybody who is against him or has any sort of anybody who doesn't agree 100% with him. He verbally attacks them and abuses them, which is completely immature, not okay. Not to mention, he has all these allegations and convictions of sexual assault. He's a felon. He's got money laundering. He is a textbook narcissist. So even if you agree with some of the things that he says, I know some people are like, I voted for Trump because I want to be able to live. I want cheaper gas. I want cheaper things. Um, First of all, that's all talk. I don't believe that's going to happen, but let's see, right? But my core beliefs as a leader of our country, you need the basics that a leader needs, right? So like a basic leader needs to lead by example, needs to have empathy, needs to have love, kindness. We can disagree with all the nitty-gritty back and forth bullshit, but Trump is a horrific person, therefore is not a good leader. That's my feedback. Um, Now we can go into all the nitty gritty about women's rights and all the shit that he brings up, which I also disagree with that stuff. But even if you do agree with his point of view on some of those things, just the fact that he is such an evil, horrific person, and you can see that through what he's done with his life and through all the things that he's been convicted of, people who have come out, women who have talked about him, the way he can't even address the vice president by her actual name. He says her name differently every single time he says it, just to be an asshole. There's just basic respect that is completely gone. He has no clue how to just be just the most standard, basic, respectful individual. And to me, that is disgusting that that kind of person is leading our country. That is not a leader. That's a shitty person, and I am pissed about it.
No, I
He's
back you up.
racist. He promotes so much violence and
And
negativity
hate.
and hate. He spews hate. He does not bring
Hate.
people together. He spews hate. He doesn't like immigrants. He doesn't like other races. He's made that very clear. He's very, very clearly has stated that women are below men. And the fact that over half of our American citizens voted him in makes me so sad.
I 100% agree with you and I back you up. And I also approve of you having these strong emotions. And I was like, obviously we were all witnessing like their both of their campaigns, and we were, trying to compare the two. And I mean, I'm sorry, but they're incomparable because even if you are like me, who is typically trying to stay in the middle. I don't want to call myself a centrist, but like, I'm usually like, okay, like, let me hear what you say, let me hear what you say. But I don't condone hate. I don't condone belittling anybody that doesn't look like you. And yes, a lot of people say, oh, your biggest issue with all of that is women. Yes, absolutely. I will go to war for women. I will burn the whole world if that means for women to have freedom. And before I go into like anything else, I also wanted to say that right now we need to remember as women and especially as mothers like you, because as I told you earlier, your job just got 1,000 times more difficult because on top of just your regular in-house education where you try to teach your kids like, hey, you need to be a good person, you need to respect others, you need to listen to others before you even make any decision about whether you like them or not, all of that kind of stuff. Now you have to be like, no matter what you see on TV, no matter who your president is and what he talks about, that's wrong. You shouldn't be like that.
Yeah,
And that's
100%.
hard
Yeah,
because
totally.
as a kid, I would have been like, but how did he make a president? Like, how
Yeah,
did he get up
exactly.
there?
He's the
Didn't
highest
you,
leader of the entire country.
yeah, like, didn't you tell me that he was not a good person? How did he make it that far? And what do you tell your
Exactly.
kid? I
Yeah.
don't know. That's how it works in America. If you are a rich white dude, nobody cares if you're a convicted felon. Nobody cares if multiple women came forward and said, and then I mean, I made a few screenshots that I'm gonna read out later, but I just want to say that no matter how hard these insecure men try to make us feel like a minority, we are not a minority. And then I think we just have to remind ourselves because if it wasn't for women, there would be nothing. Nothing. No life would ever start without women.
Yep.
So the fact
So
that we
true.
have been put into this box of minority for so long baffles me, but it also, like, I think in the last like month, it's almost like I felt this like generational rage in me. I'm like, dude, they used to burn women, literally. Yes, they say they were witches, they were women. Okay. And then who's to say that's not something that these people want to do in the future? Who's to say? You
Yeah.
know? So, and even though again, like some people say, but like, why do you care? Like, you live in a completely blue state. I truly believe if everybody is not free, then nobody's free.
Yeah.
If women in Tennessee don't have rights to their bodily autonomy, I don't have rights to my bodily autonomy because this is just how it works. And I mean, we talk about that often as well, that, we are very grateful, both me and you, that we live in blue states. We are, and I think that's a privilege for us to say that, "Ugh, we're going to be okay." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
things are going to get
100%.
hard, but we're going to be okay
Yep.
until they're going to come up with a national federal abortion ban.
Exactly.
What are
Exactly.
we going
How
what are
long
we
are
going
we
to do
going to be
then?
okay? Yeah, totally. Yeah, I
We
know.
are
And
okay for now.
yeah, 100%. No, I totally agree with you. And there's been a lot. In general, I am open and understanding and accepting towards people's differing point of views. Like it makes sense. But with this one, again, I struggle because just the person at hand, it's not Republican versus Democrat, in my opinion. It's this narcissistic, evil human being who's now leading our whole country. And, the people who are like, I don't believe in abortion, I don't believe in killing a baby. I don't necessarily disagree with you, but we need to look at all the facts that go into that. Also, the fact that you're against it doesn't mean somebody else has to not be, it doesn't have to be a law because you're against it. If you don't
No,
believe in
absolutely.
abortion, don't get an
Don't
abortion.
have
But
one. Don't
but
have
what
one.
about, yeah, it should not be a law. And
It
also,
should
what
be
about
a
the
personal choice.
100%? And what about the
It is a
people? I don't
personal
want to get
choice.
like, oh, sorry. I was gonna say I don't want to get like too in the rabbit hole on this topic, but I think some people, the people where I've talked to and had like back and forth, who are like, God says abortions are not okay. Do not get an abortion. That's fine. That's your belief. But also, what about these people who are raped to get pregnant, or these people who have an ectopic pregnancy where you have a pregnancy in your fallopian tube and you will die if the baby gets to a certain stage. You can't get
Men
an
men
abortion
don't
because of that.
men don't know what that is. They don't know what ectopic pregnancy is. They're not going
And
to educate themselves on that.
apparently, neither do a lot of people who voted for Trump because you can't be black and white over no abortion ever because there are reasons for abortion, even if it's not just, you know, somebody gets pregnant, they're like, I don't want a baby, and they're being immature. That's one thing, sure. But there's so many medical reasons for abortion.
But you know
Anyway,
what?
I
Let
don't
me hear me out. Even if somebody gets pregnant and says, "I don't want this baby," that's their choice. Guess what? That's their body. Okay?
agree.
They get to decide
Agree.
what to do with it. And then again, I always say that please try to keep your Bible out of my life because number one, I am not Christian. Number two, this we need to separate state and church, okay?
Yes.
This
Thank you.
is
Thank
this is the
you.
biggest thing. This is the biggest thing.
Amen.
You cannot expect everyone to live by your Bible rules because
Yeah,
plain
it's not
it's
fair.
plain and simple. It's plain and simple. You cannot put that on me. I will say that until the day that I die. I grew up this way. My mother told me that I
Yep.
abortion is
Mhm.
basic human right. It is healthcare. There's nothing crazy, wild, ungodly around it. It's just, you know why? For 50 years we had Roe v. Wade and everybody was okay with that. And then all of a sudden, like we started coming up with these like extreme conservative Republicans, which I have to say real quick, I have no problem with Republicans, actually. Like I
Yeah, no, I
have
agree. Agree.
I have no problem with anyone being a Republican. I have no problem with anyone being a Democrat. You know what? Like, live your
Totally
freaking truth. I'm talking
agree.
about MAGA right now. I am
Yep,
talking about extremist.
agree.
This is what happened. He figured out that these uneducated people, that's what is going to fire them up. He figured that out. He was like, what can I say for these people to follow me anywhere I go? And he was like, oh, I'm going to work for these Bible beaters. I'm going to make sure that I say everything that ignites fire in them and they're going to follow me into the depth of the earth. Even people around him.
Yep.
Republicans who literally had to walk away from that, and the ones who are still around him, they know that he doesn't care. He doesn't care about any of those people that
Yep.
voted for him
Oh, absolutely not.
because because he knows more than anyone else that majority of those people, and I'm not talking about people that voted for Trump because they're tired of the past 4 years, because I can understand those people too. I get it. People cannot afford groceries. I'm one of them. People struggle to make day-to-day living, right? People cannot afford this rent anymore. And I get it. I get it. It's always been like this. After 4 years of one party, people get tired and they want something else. They want something fresh, but not Trump. I
Yeah.
get it. We're all tired. I get it. But like,
Yeah.
but the fact that we have to go back to this and be like, okay, and then props to Kamala because this woman had literally a couple of months to be like, this is who I am. These are my policies. I get it. We fucked up this past 4 years. She was trying to sort of like distance herself from Joe Biden and the whole administration. She was trying, oh, like this is what's going to happen. And I get it. It's tough. It's hard. But I think I think a lot of it is rooted in whatever people feel about Kamala and about the Democratic Party in itself. Because I know I'm very disappointed in the Democratic Party myself, because I think everybody has gone, the other side has gone far too right, and the other side has gone far too left. And everybody forgot about regular people like us, like any American who is just like, I just want to have a normal life. I just want to live. I just
Yeah.
want to take control of my body. I just want to make sure that I can pay for my housing. I just want to pay for gas prices, which, if by the end of May, the gas prices are not dropped, we're marching.
Yep. I
We're
have
we're
no doubt
going
they
up
won't be dropped.
like we're going up to White House and saying, "What's up, dude?" Like you said
Yep.
that. Well, what's up?
Yep. Yeah. No, I agree. I know Republicans who I care about, look up to, respect. I have nothing wrong with the Republican Party as a whole. It is just Trump in general, what he stands for and who he
Yes.
is, that has me so fired up for the record. And you're right.
Yes.
I don't think that the Democratic Party did everything right. I think that Trump has a bunch of promises that he will not fulfill, and we'll see those soon.
And
Um,
which is not a bad thing either, and that's what I'm trying to soothe myself with, because he is such a clown and because he just spits things like whatever comes to his mind. He doesn't have like any prepared speech. He has a concept of a plan. Let's just say that. I just want to believe that the stuff that he was spewing and saying that he was going to do, I just hope he's never going to get to it. But he's also very unpredictable, so.
yeah, it's true. God, it just fires me up, man. But one
Uh,
thing that I'm okay, here we are. So the election is done. I voted. I said everything I could to everybody I could. I said my piece. Now we're here. Trump is going to be in office come January. Where do we go from here?
and this is a real concern. And I'm not going to tell you that I'm not scared, and I'm not going to tell you that I don't feel unsure about, our future and the future of our kids and the people that we care about. But I think the only thing that we can do right now is just to focus on our lives and just to
Yeah.
make sure that we do everything we can to take care of ourselves, to take
Right.
care of the ones that we love. And I mean, we're gonna fight. As women, we've been fighting. There
Yeah.
has never been an easy time for us women. So all we're gonna do is fight. I always tell people, it's a good way to find community. You find people
Right.
that support you. You know,
Yeah.
there's still so much love out there. And I know there
Yeah.
are good people out there, 1,000,000%. And
100%.
I also
100%.
I was really angry, I think the first day, and I was watching so many TikToks and Instagram reels that were like affirming my rage. Like, fuck you, fuck America, fuck everyone who voted for Trump. I hope you fucking get what you deserve. Like, if there's a hurricane in Florida, we're not praying for you anymore and all that kind of stuff. And you know, yes, it did feel like something that I could like that were my thoughts. I was like, whatever comes to your way, people, whatever
Right.
comes your way, you voted for it. You wanted it, right? But at the same time, like I love this country a little bit too much for me to not want this country to be good and be great. And I just know that we're gonna struggle for the next 4 years, and then hopefully both parties are going to be able to figure out like what's the best way for all of us to be united and move forward, because I think that's the biggest
Yeah.
problem right now is just we are so separated and
Divided.
spread
Yep.
out and
Yep.
divided. It's not even funny. Like it's
I know.
just it's this is not the America that people were talking about American Dream. This is not the America that I wanted to live in when I first moved here.
Not the
But
America
I
I
still
ever knew
choose.
growing up.
Exactly.
It's not.
But this is still the America that I choose to be in, and I still believe that this is the greatest country in the world. And this is coming from someone who purposely migrated here, who
Yeah.
made a conscious decision to move here. So, yeah, but I wanted to read a couple of things to you and that I screenshotted. Days like these are the reason why so many women never come forward. Because even if you decide to go through the absolute hell that is reporting sexual assault, your abuser can go on to become the leader of the free world.
Ouch.
Another human took liberties with your body without your consent, and millions go on to praise him and elect him to be the highest office in the land. What could coming forward possibly be worth? When you post and celebrate that this man has been elected again, saying, "Thank you, Jesus," you're posting a reminder to every person who has ever been sexually assaulted. The powerful men are believed over victims every single time. And by the way, when you say "Thank you, Jesus," that this man won, your credibility as a Christian goes out of the window. That's not worth coming forward. That if your abuser is rich enough, white enough, influential enough, their actions do not have consequences. Not negative
Absolutely.
consequences, at least. If you think
Sure.
you do not know anyone or have anyone following your social media that has been sexually assaulted or raped, you're wrong. 1 in 3 women, and they see you. Somebody is angry, and if somebody is truly going through motions thinking like what happened, like we voted, we wanted this, we really tried, we fought so hard, and we still ended up where we were back in 2016. I remember when he got elected in 2016, and I remember feeling scared. I was like,
Mhm.
I don't like this man. Like, I don't know, I don't trust this man. And
Mhm.
obviously we were all right. But
Well, yeah, think about the chaos that ensued in his first term. Just the chaos of people.
and we also, me and you talked about how these uneducated, insecure men are going to get a lot more bolder.
Yeah.
They're going to get a lot more obnoxious,
Yeah.
and they're going to get so much louder than, I mean, even louder than they were before. And I mean, this is just something that we're going to have to live with, you know?
Yeah, the thing about it is there's always been good and bad human beings. There's been crappy men in the world. The problem is Trump gives them a voice and makes them feel confident and comfortable to speak and spew their hate because that's who he is. So all of these evil men who are womanizers, who are money launderers, who are felons, who are liars, who are narcissists. Our leader is that. So it gives them a safe space to be angry, to be vocal, to be violent, because Trump allows that and shows that by example.
Absolutely. And I send you a lot of screenshots, and these are just so horrible. Somebody was posting this on X, which is previously Twitter. Somebody said, "Your body, my choice. Haha.
Ugh,
Have fun losing your right.
wow.
Haha. Now zip it and make me a sandwich."
Oh, that enrages me.
And somebody, like, the girl posted a video saying, like, I basically, like, we as women, we are on this horrible path to lose all of our bodily autonomy. And somebody said, keep it on in your pants then. Okay.
Wow.
And somebody said, which I mean, the profile pictures of these men is
Oh,
just it tells me
white hick
everything I need to
hillbilly.
know. You know what? Fuck it. I don't give a fuck about your rights and what you're gonna do. Um, Let me go with the orange man. Speaking of, I hope they're gonna hire a better makeup artist and find a better shade for this man because
Orange man with
goddamn.
the toupee and the extra white veneers. Come on.
Y'all got all this money and you can't hire a professional makeup artist who's gonna like match it up. Like, come on, man. Okay, how about this one? Like, apparently they said, oh, like we're losing rights as women, and this object said, the right to spread your legs with no repercussion.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
Make me a sandwich, ho. Oh, this is my favorite. This is my favorite one. Well, at least I can buy groceries now. Who gives a fuck about your rights?
God, that makes me
What's so
mad.
disgusting? If I went on a rabbit hole, which I won't because I ain't got time to spend on these losers, but I did, most of them have wives and children. And those children are girls. I said it. This
Disgusting.
this is how your daddy feels about you. Okay.
Disgusting. Disgusting. And how do women get pregnant? They don't do it by themselves. Like, come the fuck on. God, I hate people. And I know some people are going to say, well, that's not all Trump supporters. That's not
No.
everyone who thinks that way.
No. I think the world is not the world, America right now is majority of people that truly follow him are like these extremist MAGA people, which
Agreed.
I don't respect any of them.
Nope.
I think there's also a group of people that voted for him because they are wealthy and they want to keep their wealth. And he did
Agree.
promise tax cuts for people who make over a certain amount. And I
Yeah.
mean, corporate greed in this country, it's just so disgusting. And I think there's the third group of people are people that I mentioned earlier who are just like, hey, you know what? We are tired of my Biden administration. That
Yeah.
they didn't do anything for us.
Yeah.
They went a little too left. And I know some people are longing for the normalcy of the world and for stability
Yeah.
of the world. And I get
Yeah.
it. I understand. I understand.
Yeah.
But that's why they voted for him. They were like, these people promised me things. They didn't give me anything. So I'm hoping and I'm putting my hope in this. And you know what? And I'm going to say
Sure.
something, and I'm putting my hope in in them too, because I also live here. As much as I absolutely despise him and loathe him, and I cannot stand the people that he's surrounding himself with. I mean, don't get me fucking started on JD Vance because
Oh my
I will
God.
never stop talking. I will
He would
never
be
if I
his running mate. The first
if
millennial co-host here. We're fucked. I hear you, and you're right. It is what at this point, it is what it is. So let's hope for the best because it's going to affect all of us, right?
thank you. Thank you.
And I hear you. I want to give some validity to what you said, as far as some people are just so tired of the way things are that they're voting for anybody who's not associated with the way things are.
Yes,
But
yes.
I don't think Trump was the answer. I
Of
understand
course
that, like,
not. Of
the
course
pa-
not. Just wanted to say that, and that's another thing that he harps on really, really
yeah,
well with his MAGA supporters because I'm gonna say it again, those people are uneducated. They don't know how economy works.
yeah,
They don't know how inflation works. They
yep,
don't know what tariffs are that he is
yep,
trying to put in place
yep.
because who's gonna pay all those?
100%. I talked to a few people who happen to be Trump supporters, and they commented on, when I was a teenager or when I was 20, this is what I paid. I'm like,
Shut the fuck up, bitch. Your
that
parents
has
bought your house
nothing
for
to,
$3.
right?
$3.
A Big Mac was 25 cents. So it must be Obama and Biden's fault that it's now $3. Like, come on. Also, what did you get paid when you were a kid versus what do you get paid now? What was minimum wage, $5 an hour, and now it's $20 an hour here in Seattle? Like, that just, I could go on and on. I want to give a little bit of credit to the people. Ugh, I'm trying so hard, girl. I don't want to give credit to anybody who voted
But
for,
but but I know how you feel. I know where you're coming
yeah.
from, and I feel the same way. I was fuck all day, dude. I woke up with the like. First of all, I took the biggest nap of my life that day, and
I know, you sure did.
because I think I was so anxious, and I was just
Yeah,
like
me
tired from
too.
like waking up early and stuff. But like, I never take 5 hour naps, even when I'm deadly tired. And I woke up and I looked at my phone, and I was like, oh hell no. I was like, this is fucking bad. This is
I
horrible.
couldn't believe it. I felt like I was in a nightmare. I just did this for 5 hours. I just kept refreshing, and I was like, watching the numbers go up. Like, you've got to. Out of all the celebrities who endorsed her, and everybody I've talked to, I was like, this is in the bag. Thank
You
God.
know what else I think the because we're so divided and because there's so much hate online, which I understand. Like, if somebody comes forward and says, hey, I voted for this person because this and that and the other, I mean, even if you disagree with them, and internally I'm like, you're a jerk. These people have a right, right? That's your First Amendment.
Yeah.
Speak your fucking truth. Vote for whoever you want to. That's fine. But I think a lot of people were lying. And this is my personal opinion, allegedly. I think a lot of people were saying, oh, yeah, like we're voting for Kamala, we're this. And I think they were secretly voting for Trump because I know a lot of women voted for Trump because of their husbands. And you
That
can
makes that makes
let
me really sad.
you can let me die on this hill where like yes, I told my husband I was voting for Trump, and when I got to the booth like I was working really fast and I was like voting for Kamala and stuff, and I'm like this is ridiculous, like this is ridiculous,
So,
which
yeah.
I'm gonna okay, let's start lighting this up a little bit. My
Okay.
question is to you, because a lot of people ask me that and I listen to a lot of people talk about it, and I know your answer, but I also want to have a discourse on it. Would
Okay.
you be able to date a person who's a Trump supporter?
Absolutely not. Fuck no. Hard no, fuck no, absolutely not. No. I was actually thinking about updating my dating profile that I'm never on anyway to say, if you voted for Trump, please do not like me because it's going to be a hard no. No, absolutely not. Fuck no. No, 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 no. How about you?
What if what hell fucking no. Absolutely fucking not.
Either you're a shitty, in my opinion, either you're a shitty person who believes what he believes, or you're that ignorant and stupid that you don't understand what he believes. So, no and no.
But I also think about it like I don't know. Would I date somebody who didn't vote at all?
Ugh, that's a whole nother thing. No, I wouldn't. I mean,
Yeah,
unless
because
there's a reason, right? If you don't have an opportunity to vote,
no, I'm not talking about that. Obviously, if you are not a
yeah.
citizen and if you can't vote, that's different. But if you are American and you don't vote, it's like,
No, no, I wouldn't. And it really
you know.
pisses me off those people who don't vote and still bitch about who is elected because you got no say so. I've talked to so many. It's funny you bring this up because I had a guy I was dating not super long ago. You may know who I'm talking about, but um he was a little problematic and he didn't vote and he was just gung ho like my vote doesn't matter. Like one vote doesn't matter. And I'm like, yeah, but the problem is if you have all these people who believe that, now it matters, right? Like thousands and thousands and millions of people who are like my vote doesn't matter, now it matters,
Thank
right?
you.
So like
And
and
also
you're
all those
just
people who are like, um, I'm just gonna vote for the independents.
oh my God, you might as well not vote at all. Those people who just vote or like write their own name. I had somebody way back in the day who wrote their own name in as like a joke. And I'm like, you are so
This
dumb.
is, you know what? We love a good joke. We love comedians, but this is not the time
Well, and
nor
the fact
place.
that people fought and died for America and for our freedom and for our rights, and people are dying to have the opportunity to be able to vote and be in a country where your voice is heard and you're not using your platform, like, fuck you.
Yeah, but also we have a lot of people who are convicted felons and they can't vote, but apparently you can become a president if you're a convicted felon. So make it make sense.
You can't work a normal job. You can't
No,
get
absolutely
hired at
not.
my company with his background, but you can run the country.
I actually I read this comment somewhere and it said, fellas, stop looking for a job. Just run for a president. Because
Oh my God.
if you have
What
felonies
is
in the past,
wrong with
which
what
is,
is wrong
hey,
with that?
which is I also need to address that. I don't know if I do or not, but I want to. Like, it is completely okay that if you had any convictions in the past, like it's fine. Like everybody has past, as
Sure.
long as they're
We
not
make mistakes.
as long as
Yeah,
they're not like some crazy, wild, murderous
yeah,
sexual abuse. That none of that stuff, you know.
sure,
But
sure, sure, sure.
everybody has a chance for a future, but not you. Not you, Donnie. You don't have a chance.
Donnie boy.
Oh, I try to stay out of politics.
Then try and stay out of my life.
Tell me you
Bye.
have a little pee-pee without telling me you have a little pee-pee. But
No.
I also think that it's really dangerous because I think sometimes you can start talking to someone and you, especially if it's not dating apps, if it's just like out in the wild and you get to know them, everything's cool. And then, like stuff like that didn't come up. What if you started talking to them not during the election time, but whatever. And then somewhere through the crack, it comes out
It's a good
that,
point.
and then what do you do now?
That's a good point. I feel like what you vote for, who you vote for, it's not just who you vote for, it's part of you. Like your belief system comes into play there, right? Like I feel very passionately about Trump because of who I am, because
Yes.
I'm a mother, because I am loving, because I am caring, because I
Yes.
cannot
Yes.
relate. I'm also a leader in my career.
Yes.
And the fact that we can't be that way in my little career, but you can run a country being a narcissistic, lying felon and being such a crappy individual, it just aggravates me down to my core. But I don't think that I think that there's going to be signs leading up to that, right? Like, I don't think you can support Trump if you truly know what he's about and you're not blindly, stupidly, ignorantly voting for him, you're going to show signs, right? Like, I'm going to know that you support that kind of person earlier than just when we have to vote. I think, right?
Oh my God, you said that like, and that brings me to this. You know who I hate the fucking most
Who?
is people who say, no matter who wins, Jesus is king.
Jesus right now is going, what the fuck?
Jesus would have spit in Trump's face and tried to literally suffocate
100%.
him.
100%. Jesus, the one who is all about love and acceptance and accepting them all. Can you imagine with Trump?
We really need to talk to some of these like really like deep red state Christians to say, are you aware of the fact that Jesus was not a white man? Are you aware of the fact that Jesus was like sort of like a nomad who had to literally like go from one place to another because he was sort of like ran out of his
Yep.
homeland? Like, do
Yep.
you know any of that? Because if you do, you wouldn't be talking about immigrants and being like, well, if they came here illegally, then it's okay. But if they came here illegally, but you know what? Fuck you people who came in this country, and a lot of you came to in this country illegally and got your status and did your shit, and now you're talking about, oh, there's too many immigrants. I don't want no more. Fuck you. Okay?
Agree. Agree.
Fuck completely off. If
Yep.
people are if people are looking for asylum, Jesus would be the first person to say, welcome them motherfuckers in and pour them a glass of fucking beer and give them a fucking cheeseburger.
Yep. 100%. Yep. Jesus was known for love and accepting and acceptance, excuse me. And he would not fuck with Trump.
No. And I'm
Here's
not
the
even
thing too,
Christian.
a lot, I'm not gonna say all, because humans are flawed and humans, whether you're from Russia, Japan, Mexico, or America, humans are humans. But I will say the immigrants that I know are the hardest working, nicest human beings, literally. Like I have so many Russian, Ukrainian, and Mexican maintenance staff in my career. The hardest working, kindest individuals I've ever met in my entire life.
That
And we
man
want
makes me
to,
really happy.
it's true. I mean, it's just simply true. And the worst people I know are Americans who are like, they think that they're privileged. They don't understand what they have. And most of them are the ones committing all these felons and acts of crime. You know, like I said, humans are flawed, but I don't think immigrants are worse than any Americans. So the fact that we think that we're just gonna, and I understand, we want people to come in the right way, we want them to pay their taxes, whatever, that's fine. But we
Okay,
need to
then
make
fix
it
then
easier for them to do
well,
so.
and that's another thing too. Like illegal immigrants, I'm not talking about people who are documented. Illegal immigrants paid billions of dollars in the last few years in taxes.
Yep.
People who don't even have a social security number. They're still getting taxed.
Yep. And I'd love to see the statistics on those people, on their like crime rates and what they're up to, because I feel like it's not going to be,
Low, low.
yes, they stay under the radar, they work their asses off.
I'm remembering the video. What a loser. Like I
Should I
cannot
pull?
yeah,
Go ahead.
you should totally pull it up with the this should just like
This is how I
become
feel about Trump, okay, guys?
okay.
If I could, if I could put Trump's name in here instead of the person I say, which I'll try and bleep out,
That's okay. Who cares?
that's true. Nobody knows who that
He,
person
you know
is.
what? You know what? He probably voted for Trump too.
Zero doubt, zero doubt
You know,
that
you
he
know who
absolutely voted for Trump.
you know who didn't vote for Trump? A sweet,
Who?
sweet boy.
Oh, have you talked to him recently?
Of course not.
At all since Boston?
No. It's just it was a blip in history. You know what I mean? It was just like a moment. It should stay a moment.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, so should we give background to the story before I play it?
Yeah, go for it. I would love to hear the background of the story.
Okay. So we were in Boston visiting Val, who we still love, regardless of the podcast, right?
Yeah.
But we were in Val when we were all single. Val has moved on and she's doing well with her
Yes.
partner. But we were all single at the time. I know. These bitches are still single. Call me. But
Okay. Okay.
we were so Val was in the club talking to this guy, and Fatima was at home talking to this guy, and leave it to this bitch. I was hiding in the car, drunk, eating my takeout, videoing for
With
the
no,
girls
with no utensils.
with no utensils. I'm sitting in the car. I Ubered myself some fucking food. I'm trying to let you guys fucking get dick. Ew! So I'm so disgusted. Oh my God. I'm trying to let y'all get dick. Oh! Sit in the car.
It's late and cold and fucking dark. Now I was talking to some dude. Jamie's a fucking piece of shit. It didn't come through. Didn't loser, dude. Fucking loser.
What a
What a
fucking
fucking
loser.
loser.
That's just some. I rewatch that video
Me
probably
too.
like every month. Every month.
When I'm having a bad
Um,
day, maybe we'll post it at some point, the whole thing in there in its glory.
yeah, we have to. Okay. Moving on from that topic if we ever have to,
Yeah,
but
let's move on.
let's move on. I mean, there's a couple of things that we wanted to talk about. Well, first of all, I wanted to kind of start with saying that I am officially a baseball girly.
Oh shit.
I am not scared to admit, not ashamed to admit that this was probably the first year where I fully understood the rules.
I'm proud of you. That's awesome.
It is awesome. And I am very
Yeah,
proud
it's
of
fun,
myself as
right? Once
well.
you get it.
Yeah, once you get it, you get it. And then obviously, like, with the Dodgers having an amazing season and me being from LA, well, not sort of, kind of, whatever. Because Angels suck. Who even, yeah, no. Uh, it was really cool watching the World Series, I think, for the first time and like actually understanding what's happening and just, being able to sort of like feel the spirit of, you know, of LA, people who live here. It's just, I think it's cool. I mean, I think it's like with every sport, when you actually feel the spirit and everybody's like getting together and coming together.
Totally.
It was so fun watching people at work, like our guests,
Oh.
like they were just like they were leaving the restaurant, but they would just like stand there in the bar area and like just watch. And I was like, you know what? I don't even give a fuck that you're in my way. I'm about to drop my tray with like 20 drinks because I know how important it is for you.
Yeah.
But two things that I took away from that. And I
Okay.
wanted to share that with you on the podcast. Number one, I realized that one of the hottest things a man can wear is a sweatshirt with a jersey on top.
I thought you were gonna say baseball pants.
Oh no. I mean,
A
yeah.
sweatshirt with a jersey on top? Okay.
It's just so hot when they like,
Really?
oh, I don't know why. It's just there's something about when they have like a little hoodie and then they just have like a jersey, the ones like the button up jerseys. And it's just I don't know why. And then they
That
have a
is
hat
not
on.
what I thought you were gonna say.
What you were gonna say? What did you think I was gonna say?
Baseball pants. I was gonna say yes, absolutely. And then you said a sweatshirt with a jersey on top. And I was like, eh.
I mean, that just goes to say that we're so on the opposite sides when it comes to men. But like, I don't know, like their asses are too big.
Never.
I'm sorry, sissy, but what do you need a man to have an ass for?
What do men need women to have boobs for? It looks good.
I know, but what do you do with that like while you're doing the deed? Like what do you grab on it?
It's I don't okay, for the record, I don't need a guy who has like a
I,
huge
I,
ass.
I thought you were going to say, for the record, I'm a virgin.
Oh no. I have two children, so I've done
You,
it twice for
I was
two
going to
kids,
say,
right?
you might be by now.
I mean, does your time restart or what? Because it's
I
been
hope
a long
so.
time.
I hope so.
Yeah. I mean, you and me both. I think we're
We're
born again virgins.
we are 100%, and I
It's been
am
months and
so
months
okay
and
with that.
months. I'm
Well,
okay
it's
with
been
it
a
too.
year. It's been a year for me, so
I think it's been about a year for me too.
dude, no. We talked
When
about
was
April.
Arizona?
April.
Okay, well, that's almost a year,
Okay. Round it
right?
up.
Yeah, we're
It's
rounding up a couple months, okay?
okay. Yeah, that's fine. But
Um, it's just I don't okay. I don't need like a guy with a huge like too big is one thing. Like that's kind of like okay, bubble butt
okay.
weirdo like no. But just like a little bit of butt is like it's just attractive to me. It's like I like a guy with curves just like guys like women with curves. I want a
Hmm.
little, like a six pack does nothing for me. A skinny
Me
boy,
neither.
like I just want a guy who has a little bit of a dad, like muscles, but a little bit of a dad bod, like a little bit of a belly and a little bit of a butt.
Okay.
Like perfect.
What? Okay. I mean, what if you meet a guy who is like shredded to the gods? And he's also a good person. I mean, it's not like you're not gonna date him.
Yeah, so my thing is like honestly, like I know you're probably gonna roll your eyes, but truly as I get older and the longer I'm single, the more the more I'm like I want to be attracted to somebody, but that's far from like the main thing I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Like
I
truly.
yes, I know, I
If I
agree.
could paint my perfect guy, he'd be a little bit a smidge overweight with some muscle and a booty and a, you know. But
And,
but if he's an amazing individual and we get along and he's got a beautiful face and whatever, like it is what it is. My
what if
body's
he's
not
super,
perfect.
what if he's a really great guy, has a beautiful job, treats you like a queen, has amazing communication skills, just overall has a great relationship with his family, overall a green flag, but he is 140 pounds.
Sounds like my ex-husband, and I gave him a chance. I
See?
mean, truly, if you're listening to this, sorry, but he is skinny, dude, skinny, skinny, and like secretly a little bit it bothered me because I was always like the big one in the relationship.
Really? Really
Yeah,
did?
it did. It did. I was always the big one in the relationship, and I always like thought about like, God, how amazing would that be to just like cuddle into my big
Mm.
man. But no, I don't want to like break him, right? But he was a great guy. He was great to my son, until he wasn't, right? Like
I was gonna say, yeah, until he wasn't.
obviously we're divorced now, but during our marriage, he was a great guy. And so it's a good example of I overcame like my general, he wasn't an ugly guy, but he was definitely skinny and too skinny for like my typical like liking. But he was really good to me and my son, and I overlooked that.
No, for sure. For sure. 100% I agree with you. But um it's okay to be bigger than your partner.
It absolutely is okay. I just would like to know what it's like to not be bigger than my partner for
Well, and
once.
and I think that's where my desire for a taller man comes in because
Oh yeah,
I'm okay with being like bigger than my partner when it comes like weight wise,
sure.
but I also want to feel smaller in some
In some
way if I
way.
can. Yeah, so I think, having someone
Makes
who's taller
sense.
than you sort of gives you that feeling of like I'm so little and like I'm gonna fly away,
That's
I'm so
true.
dainty,
Yeah, that's
but
true. Good point.
yeah. So
Good point.
that's a very hot thing for me, a man with in a hoodie and a jersey, and I will stand on it. And then
Okay,
another thing,
any men who's listening to this, you know the way to Fatima's heart. Be
yeah,
skinny, tall, wear a sweatshirt and a jersey on top. Boom.
and don't
And all
vote
the
for
big
Trump.
booty men come to my way.
Easy, dude, easy. We're never gonna have to fight. And then
That's why
another
we're
thing that
friends.
I wanted to say about like sports and baseball, I kind of mentioned it to you today when we were talking, but like why do all these girls, and I'm talking about like wives and girlfriends of athletes, why do they all look the same? Why is it always this? And again, this is not like shade or hate or anything. Do whatever the fuck you want to do with your body. I don't give a fuck, literally. But it's almost like once you become a wife or a girlfriend of an athlete, you have to go like undergo through a transformation. Why?
Okay, here's the thing. I think I've seen two types of athletes partners. I've seen the
Okay.
ones who are done up, boobs done, butts done, done to the nine, spray tanned, all the things. And then I've seen like the blonde, skinny, but I've seen a couple different variations. What are you thinking?
I am thinking I'm thinking of either a blonde, skinny, big boobs, big lips, extensions, um, almost like wearing the same things, like you know, and it's almost like they speak the same.
Yeah.
And it's not like, again, no tea, no shade, but it's always like I can spot these girls. Like if I had to guess, like I saw someone like out and about, I was like, is your husband a baseball player? Which,
Do
from
I
what I
look like I
understand,
could have a baseball player husband?
1,000%, you look like a classic wag.
I don't know. I hear what you're saying. I feel like there's two types of wags. And I'm trying to be
You,
one of them, okay?
oh, you're qualified, honey.
You're so sweet. You're a good friend. But no, I hear you. I feel like you're either a brunette, big boob, big butt, curvy, but in the best way, or you're blonde, skinny, extensions. Like there's not really any
And
variation
like
besides
these,
that.
and I don't know why, like, but a lot of people when they get into a little bit of money or a lot of bit of money, I don't know. One of the first thing, and again, I don't know why I have to constantly explain myself. I guess because like
You don't.
people sometimes don't get it the right way, but like, why do the first thing that they do and is get these like huge ass veneers?
I feel okay, here's my thing. I have a hard time commenting on this because I want to keep it honest and real. And I feel like if I had wealth, I would do everything. Like if I
And
had
and
no, if
and I think that's that's what I want. I think I want you to like give me your perspective on it.
yeah, I mean, this is just me personally, but if I had all the money in the world, I would get a BBL. I would
Okay.
probably do veneers.
Okay.
I would probably do like cheek filler. I would
Mm-hmm.
do well, some lipo. I would do all
Okay.
the things. And I think too, like being a partner of a professional athlete can be very intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
I just assume because just from just assumption. Um, and so you feel like you need to compete because there's a lot of people who are trying to get in your man's DMs. And so you're trying to be like the best of the best. And I'm not saying it's okay or it's right. Like
Yeah.
ideally we should love ourselves and just be happy with who we are. But honestly, if
Radical self-love. Radical self-love. Say it 3 times and maybe it'll come to you.
no, I
Like a Bloody
agree.
Mary. Speaking of Bloody Mary. Oh, that's why we need to finish up.
Um Anyway, so I could see why people do that because I think I would
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, that's actually an amazing point, and I'm glad you shared it with me because for me it was always like, dude, what are you doing? Why do you want to look like everybody else? But at the same time, if that's what media and the world expects from people who do have money to look like, then how are you going to go against it, sort of? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Unless,
it's a good conversation though, because you're
Mhm.
right. Like we should, I mean, hopefully, right? You love who you are and your partner loves who you are
Yeah,
and you just are who you are, but you're right. I think that or I don't know.
there's a lot of pressure for sure because
I think so.
everybody has opinions on how you look like and what you dress like and all that stuff. And I think some people can filter that out, and I think some people can be like, you know what, I don't give a fuck. Like I am married to this rich ass dude. Like who cares what you say? But it's not that easy. You can't just say like I don't give a fuck. Let me block it out. You know what I mean? Like you're you're gonna start like once you already have a shaky relationship with yourself and how you feel about yourself and how you perceive yourself, and then you start getting outer attacks, like your world does start crumbling down, and
Yep.
you do start picking yourself apart, okay?
Yeah,
And then
true.
and I think it's so when it becomes accessible to you, because who's to say that if I wasn't like rich, I wouldn't start doing things on myself either. Like, I mean, I right now I'm saying like I fucking love myself. Everything is great, but who knows? You know what I mean? You never know what I will do if I was into money, right?
Yeah.
But I think we should do our next episode where we talk about that, where I want to hear your opinion on aging, plastic
Mm-hmm.
surgery,
Ooh.
um, whether or not that, just all of that stuff, because I think both sides are obviously valid and how you feel is valid. And it's also interesting because I think people get shit for saying, fuck yeah, I get plastic surgery. I love it. And I also think people like me who are like, no, I don't want to get plastic surgery. I like how I look, also get shit because those people are considered like, oh, you're so full of yourself. You think you're better than everyone else. You know what I mean? I think like there's no right or wrong, but I think it's interesting to listen to like two different
Yeah.
um
That would be a
points
good
of view.
conversation because I think that our opinions on the topic vary.
Yes, and I don't think for me there's nothing better than having a good healthy debate. Not the debate that we've seen in the past few months. Like not that
Yeah.
shit,
God.
but like actual healthy when people respect each other, that kind of debate.
Yeah,
Um
agree.
well, thank you so much for tuning in with me. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for being a very genuine supportive friend in these trifling times.
You too, girl.
Let's stay
We gotta hang
together.
in
Let's
there.
stick together. Yeah, like we're shit. I told you, I'll burn this whole fucking world to the ground for the people that I love. So if push comes to shove, where's my fucking lighter? Literally. So I
So
love
sweet.
you. Let's
I
do
love
this
you.
again soon and
Yes.
enjoy the rest of your day.
You too, boo. Bye.
Bye.